then we're talking about hero leveling up. So, like I said, when you first start, you're not really going to have a whole lot of choice as to what heroes you get. Pretty sure everybody obviously gets David because it's part of that bloody progression event. The rest of them sort of drop in pretty much. Like, I think the green ones drop in pretty easily, and then the blues. Purples are pretty rare, so I mean the fact that I actually bought Locust because I threw a tantrum because everybody else had her and we were in a chat and I was all like, fuck this, it's like is it $4 or something? I can't remember. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just get it. But she's been not too bad to level up, so I think she'll be capped at 60 now. So if I don't manage to get more of these, you know, it might have been a waste of $4 or $6 or whatever it was. But I try and keep in my team one of each. So you've got your Nuka types. So David's a Nuka. Nukas, they generally stand back in a fight and throw their attack into the mix. They also seem to do a bit of the front-to-front combat as well, but their special moves do, I guess, deal, behind the chosen target. So like, she smashes everybody. It just kind of goes great. Assassins, obviously I think they generally have a higher attack power and speed, but they're not the best with their defense. Like, they don't have a whole lot of, I think her gear gives her most of her defensive stats. So they're a bit squishy, but they're good to have on if you have a decent healer. So again, I mean, your choices for healers, a lot of people prefer to use Voss. She heals so per second, which, I mean, again, I understand why people get sort of into it or whatever, but I find that Alternate has done me good, so at the moment that's where I'm spending my time with her, because this one, so she projects her healing ray towards the ally with the lowest health, healing them along with all allies that's in the path. So because her attack power is pretty high at the moment, noob. So her attack power, not high, but it's at 1000. So, you know, she's doing a pretty beast job when she does her healing. But obviously that's your support players. Any of the ones with the art. I don't rate him much. I don't think anybody does. His thing is stupid, and he looks stupid, so I just don't play with him. But then the tank. So I think almost everybody gets Alil. I don't know how to say anything, so whatever. He's I think he's pretty solid. Like, look at his health. Like, he's pretty beast. His attack power is pretty good too. I suppose when you compare his attack to, her attack isn't that high. Maybe I'm on crack. Maybe it's a critical, it's good. I can't. I'm a noob. Just take a taste of what I'm saying and then, you know, use your own brain for the rest of it. Rangers, they're the ones that are good with the attack, and they generally attack from a distance, so they'll sort of more snipe people. I like him because he adds a boost to my other characters, so this one. So affected allies ignore 15% of the enemies, whatever. But then, you know, he's also got a pretty good critical. There we go. So I try and run with one of each. Obviously, you know, if you're going to go a tank, it'd be either Kahlil or maybe people seem to quite like Grimmer. Sorry, this... Yep, fingers. This guy, he looks cool when he fights, so to me, like, that's a plus. But he's also one that if he does get killed, he provides a shield to your other members for a certain period of time. Oh, I forgot about the brawlers. Man, I threw a tantrum at the brawlers when I first started because I think I got Bersha and Dorian within my first few rolls. So they were in my team for ages, and they just die. They just don't last. The only one I found's any good is Catherine. And I think it's because she has the ability to shield herself for a few seconds, which often if I've got her in there, especially when I'm doing my campaign and stuff, or you know, your dungeons sort of operate same as campaign where they may require you to have a certain amount of humans or a certain type or whatever. She seems to hold out the best compared to these other chumps. But yeah, so have a look at your players. Like, I did go through and try and do a spreadsheet to try and work out which ones I thought were going to be better. I'm pretty happy with my top 5, so that's my 5 on the top line. And then the ones I've chosen as secondary are, like, you know, again, it'll be Lucretia, Voss, Catherine, Grimmer, and I think Bishop I decided was probably the next best ranger, which was surprising because I just thought he was shit, but once I had a look at the stats, like, he actually isn't bad. So yeah, heroes. Then to level up your heroes, you need to let's go. So 1, you need to produce. So obviously at the start you'll probably only be able to do small shards, so that's for your lower levels. As they go up in levels, they require different obviously ranks of shards or crystals. Small is obviously quite cheap to produce. Once you start going up, obviously it's costing a lot more moon dust, so you'll find that a lot of people will complain about how much moon dust they don't have, because you also need moon dust to heal. But again, if you just try and keep some producing, that's a good start. So when you've got your shards sorted out, which one do I actually want to let? I want to get it at 40. If you click on the either the level up, or if you haven't got enough shards, click on the little icon for the player. So in this case, just click the sword for the assassin. It'll show you a camp. If you click attack, it'll automatically take you to the nearest highest level that you've attacked so far camp. So for me, I'm up to 11. For those camps, to get access to the higher ones, you have to hit each level, which will then give you access to the next one up. So if I wanted to hit 11, I would have to have gone through and hit like 8, 9, 10 before it would allow me to do 11. But again, you get a certain amount of stamina each, like that accrues, I guess, over time. And you've got to spend your time grinding. I recommend picking one hero at a time and get them leveled up. Some of the events are like hero level up focused, so again, you sort of, well, I know that when those events happen, I might grind and level up some of my lower ones, even though you don't get as much points for those. Like, you get more points depending on the high, like the level that they're at. The higher the level, the higher the points. But obviously smaller ones are just bang for buck and they're quick and easy. But that's, I think, most of the stuff that you'd need to know for your basics on your heroes. Oh, hero power. So in your teams, I think when you can see when I'm attacking something, it shows you your team's attack power. So at the moment mine's just over 58k. Well, I guess it's almost 59. Okay, if I was going to do that kind of rounding. I don't want to go into it this time, so I need to untick this little pop-up that comes up. Oh, it's like 34 seconds away. Girl! Alright, keep talking. Hero power. Right. Alright, untick that. So, when you go to attack one, depending on how you lay your heroes out, depends on your power. So you look at that as 2970, but if I move her maybe out, or move her around, like it changes how they play. You also have to consider the type of attacks each of them do. So this chick's a tank, so she does operate quite well in the front line. She's squishy as fuck, so she could probably go there. He's a tank, so he can go at the front. Like, this is my second line. Like, I don't really have a great lineup for my second line. It is something I need to work on, but those sorts of things I found when you were doing like your catacombs and your campaigns, it was a good opportunity to be like trying out different heroes and trying out different layouts of how you have them set up, because that can really change your attack and defense. Also to do with your hero's power, sorry, I lost myself, your guild, super important. So when you first start, getting into a decent guild is hard as shit, because everybody that, when I started, I think I must have come into it pretty late compared to maybe a lot of the people in my zone. But they were all asking for people with 70,000 power or up or whatever, and you come in and you're like, oh great. So I think me and Kenny just started our own guild so that we could just have ourselves together, and then focused on that for a while until we built up enough power to apply to KEA, and then while we're at KEA we end up, you know, boosting a little bit more, and then we merge. So we're now in a decent, like, well, I'd say we're like mid-level guild. Like, we're definitely not one of the top ones at this stage, but we're, you know, at a good point where we hold our own pretty well, but if one of the big ones came for us, we'd just get fucked up. So definitely try and join a guild. Don't pledge loyalty or anything stupid right at the start, because alliances and making friends and all that kind of stuff is amazing, but ultimately it's a game of strategy, and strategically getting in a guild, it does help with some boosts, some helps and things like that. And then getting into a better guild, obviously you're getting better quality everything. The guilds do have research, which adds some extra like stats to your heroes. So I found that when I left my guild before I joined this one, my attack power dropped significantly on each of my heroes, and it made me realize that research, that guild research, is super important. So I mean, we've put a pretty decent focus on it now with our guys to make sure that everybody's donating as much as they can. It does cost quite a lot of gold or lunar shards, the diamond things. But like you're actually benefiting from it. It's doing your own research, but as a group. So it's definitely worth focusing on. Covers most of the basics. So obviously grind out your heroes. Be smart about it. Like if you look along, especially your main crew, if you're focusing on that, like you can see which ones, like I've got no shards for him, so I've got to, you know, obviously put some effort into making some. But if I was gonna be doing my second string, I mean, they're not bad. I can do her, but I really do want to get all my heroes over 40. It does unlock gear. Shit, yo, I didn't tell you about gear. So, most of your battles, whether it's on the main screen, catacombs, dungeons, whatever, you can earn gear. Now, the game is pretty alright because it gives you, it highlights, I guess, when a better piece of gear is in your inventory that would be able to fit to one of your players, your heroes. And then if you look at the gear, obviously this one here is Polished Amulet, and it's only able to fit on a hero that's over level 32. So most of them have, like, you know, different level requirements or whatever on them. At the start you may not get that many, but eventually you'll have quite a lot. Apparently that's better. So you'll see what my power is 10,407. I put that on 10,435. So it's not a huge jump, but some of them, like, mate, when I put my gear on my Deva, like, I was just like, shit, yeah. Like, hang on, we'll unequip her and, like, we'll just show, like, her power. Just, I can't remember which one it was that, like, I think it was that, the Royal Will. Look at it. Like, so her gear makes up most of her power. So gear, super important. But gear also totally pisses me off. So once you reach a certain level, you'll unlock a forge. So you forge, if we start with, I guess, the crafting one, it lists out, like, whether or not it's your attack weapon, your body armor or gear, helmet, amulet, ring, and boots. Now, it's a random drop. So basically, let's do some boots or whatever. You have a look and it tells you what each thing has. So this one, obviously the boots, they require a level 50. The stats on the side to the right there, like, you can see that they give you a range. So basically, if I was to craft them right now, I don't have any over 50, so I'm not going to waste my time yet, but if I was, the stats that I would get on that may differ from when I completely, like, craft the same gear again. So it may come out the first time that I just get 7% health, a certain amount of armor, and maybe some dodge. Like, it chooses parts from those stats. So I think you get always health, and then you'll get something from the bottom. That one will get me 3 from the bottom. So there's no guarantee that when you craft something that it's going to be better than what you've got. The other thing is, like, at the moment, some of the level 10 stuff that I had was better quality than the level 20. So that was rather frustrating as well. Let's try this level 41 shit. What does that get me? I mean, dodge is great, but I kind of want some bang for buck, or maybe some bloody armor would be good, but I don't have enough resources. So obviously if I gathered gold, I could earn some. I gathered moon dust, I could earn some. And then the catacombs do give you a fair bit of different material depending on which type of catacomb you're going into. Apparently I don't have any fucking gear to be able to craft boots. Alright, what else do we want to try? Maybe a helmet? Ugh, that was the other thing. So if you look at boots, like, nothing pretty much is, like, specific to anything. Like, these boots can fit on any of the heroes depending on their level. Whereas you have a look at the weapons, so these ones are type specific. So, you know, if I'm wanting to find gear for my Nuka, like, it jumps from level 50, level 35, and then there's just shit that I haven't got yet or haven't unlocked. Or, why isn't that unlocked? Depending on my forge level. That's shit I gotta do too. How much is that gonna do? Ugh, 200. Well, anyway, so, I know that Kenny and I were on a call and we sit there and we're like, oh, I'm gonna craft some gear, you know, I've got some shit gear, like whatever. And like legit, he's like getting angry at me, swearing that I'm spending money, which I'm not. Well, not more than he already knows about anyway. Only, I think we're at about 12 bucks each or something, or 10 bucks each. But my power just jumped because of the gear I was able to craft. So we both were in there trying to craft gear, and like it's just frustrating. You craft so much and you're like, yeah, I finally got enough material, it's gonna craft me some gear, and it just comes out shit, and you're like, oh, that's the other thing you can do. If you're running low on stuff, disenchant. So again, this still splits it up as to types. It locks the ones that are on your heroes. So this one's currently been worn by old mate bloody, I forget his name, Burshner or some shit. But each time you disenchant, it gives you some of those gear material things, what are they called, components. So you can just tick all the shit ones. Well, they're not necessarily shit, but you can go through and be more exact with it. But disenchant gives you some material. Catacombs gives you the actual things that you need to be doing the crafting. So like I said, these sort of run every few days or whatever, and depending on what gear you're wanting to craft or whatever's going on, you can get some of your shiznit from there. And it's good because that does the keys replenish over time. So it's again something that you're not really having to worry about spending money on, but you do have to kind of look ahead and have a look at what you've got coming up as to what you are wanting to be doing. So if you are focusing on trying to get a certain hero or gear, I guess, that, you know, looking ahead at what's going to be unlocking next. So in this case, we'll be getting a ranger. See, Nuka. Whereas I'll want her because I feel that's already where a lot of my power is. So may as well try and feed her. And then the tank. I do want him. He does look sexy, but it's a bit hard. Bit hard to aim for those big ones because the shard drops are very, very hard. Far and few in between. Few and far in between? Anyways. So hopefully that helps people. If it helps, it helps. If it doesn't help, it doesn't. If you've got any tips for me, hit me up. Any suggestions for me, let me know. Otherwise, peace.